Hey, this is Aaron from Eastern Border, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the different size of bindings that are out there on the market. There's a different size binding for almost everybody's foot, and it's very important that you size the binding to the boot that you're going to wear. So first off, you need to know your boot size. Once you've determined the size of your boot that you're going to be wearing, then you can go ahead and pick a binding. Most major binding manufacturers make small, medium, or large bindings, or medium, large, and extra large bindings for men, also for women, and then there's usually a youth segment as well. So determining your binding size can be done in one of two ways. If you know precisely your boot size, you can follow the manufacturer's recommendation, which is usually listed on their box on the outside. Very easy to read, very easy to follow. And those guidelines are usually pretty true to fit. The other thing you can do is if you have a boot and you want to see if your binding is going to fit, you can test the boot in the binding. This is especially useful when you're using one brand of boot with another brand of binding or vice versa. So what you want to do is just make sure that the boot fits nicely into the binding and that the toe and the heel hang out equally. Sometimes there are adjustments for that, but it has to be close. And then that the straps, relatively fit the boot. And again, there are adjustments there for small variances. But what you can't do is put, a really big boot in a really small binding. It just doesn't work. It won't fit. And then there's also the gender difference. If you have a women's boot, you're definitely better off getting into a women's binding. They're designed to fit the boots better, and the sizing is more correct. And if you have a youth product, you obviously want to use a youth binding as well.